my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
And we shall overcome.
Impromptu celebrations erupted outside the White House.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I ain't finna lie. I'm finna just be honest. Shit, hey, we gotta have to figure this out, man. We gotta figure this out. I gotta start doing more shows now. It's crazy work. But tonight, man, first things first, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody from the last show that's coming through showing love. You know what I'm saying? As always, we seek the truth over here. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, whatever the truth is, that's what I'm looking for. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna do tonight. Once again, as always, shout out to my brother in the building, man. D Free is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cash Crypto in the building. My brother Rich then pulled up immediately. He said, "Damn it, we gonna stay here, nigga. We in the building." Rich, welcome to the show, family. Shout out to Mad Dog in the building. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. This past Sunday, we got into a video as far as the new chambers. You know what I'm saying? That's been found under the pyramids. People say that these are conspiracies. We done heard that there were conspiracies for the longest. And what I'm starting to see is they not really conspiracies like that. It's the truth. And we got my brother in the building. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of Alaska. The co-host of the show. You know what I'm saying? A brilliant individual. We got my brother Cash in the building, man. Salute to my brother Cash. I'm gonna pass it around and let y'all get y'all opening statements, and then we're gonna get to the video. And I want to finish it because we didn't get a chance to finish it. I'm gonna go to Cash first, then I'm coming to Rich. Cash, man, give me your opening statements, brother. How you feeling?
Salute, Doug. Now we can get to it.
You already know what it is. Rich, real quick, what's your experience, what's your knowledge as far as the pyramids, ancient history, those type of things go? Break it down for us real quick so we can get an understanding, my brother.
Okay, like as we delve into this, a lot of the stuff that we practice today, from our alphabet into like even our emojis that we have on our phone, comes from ancient Egyptians in their school and arts and teaching. And it's it gets deeper than most people want to go, but like you're not gonna learn a lot of stuff that I'm gonna speak on in school. Like you got to go for this stuff. They're not gonna teach you this stuff that I'm gonna speak on regarding Egypt and their how do I say, what's the right word? I guess their role in our history that we're even practicing now. Even on our dollar bill, we get a pyramid with the eye symbol of Horus and other stuff like that. So like Egypt is still impacting us today in many ways and aspects. But we'll delve deeper into it, Doug.
Real quick, I want to ask you a quick question. So before we get into the video, and matter of fact, I need to go pull the video up. I ain't even got the video pulled up. I got other videos from the conspiracy show that I was looking to play that I didn't get a chance to play. But I want to ask you this question. When it comes down to ancient civilizations, in your opinion, who were the individuals who created these ancient civilizations? When we talk about ancient Sumeria, when we talk about Kemet, when we talk about the Dogon tribes, when we talk about the Aztec, the Incans, the Mayans, who in your opinion, who were these individuals who helped establish these different civilizations? In your opinion,
Well, I mean, honestly, it everybody's connected from the Dogons to the Mayans to the Egyptians. It seems like everybody has like I guess the same story down, but they may change character names. You know, you might get Nimrod.
Oh, you cut out, brother. You cut out. Did you cut out? What does that mean? Cash, can you hear him?
Nah, he cut out.
Okay. Rich, hey, Rich, you cut out, my brother.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
No, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Camera.
Yeah, turn your camera.
Can y'all hear me?
No, you good to go. You good to go now. Go ahead.
Okay. Like I was saying, like all the ancient civilizations, they all tie into each other with the stories. Most of them have the same story, from flood to the angels or the fallen, the Nephilim coming down and giving us certain teachings to where like we all have the same thing. And we can see it obviously throughout history and civilization throughout the world. You got pyramids in America, you got pyramids on the other side of the sea, and they want to make it seem like all we had was boats, a hammer and some stones and some chisels. I just feel like the honest thing is we were way more capable than what they teach us in the ancient times than we are now. Because we can't even build the pyramids now. So obviously something was going on 2,000, 3,000 years ago that's not going on now. Like we got iPhones and touchscreens, smart homes, smart TVs. Something like
Hey, Rick, I'm gonna just be honest with you. You got your mic is out of order. It's out of order. You couldn't like we can hear you for a second, then we can't hear you. I say that respectfully, but your mic is out of order.
My bad. I'm out of order, man. Let me. All right.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Let me see if you're in order.
Yeah. Let me try to get this mic situation in my all this together and stuff. I ain't gonna keep speaking if it ain't. It's falling.
No, I ain't mad at it. So we gotta finish the video. We had the video. And shout out to my brother Cash. Cash always send me good information. You know what I'm saying? I think we got a couple other videos we're gonna end up having to play as well. But let me make sure I pull the right one. Give me a second. I apologize, family. All right, here we go right here. So I believe, and I think we were almost at the 140 mark in, the hour and 4 mark in the last video. But I want to be sure on that. Before we do it, Cash, as far as these new discoveries, these type of things. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. My apologies. Marky, welcome to the show, my brother. We got Marky Dan in the building, the young historian. You know, understand what I'm saying? Straight out of the great islands of St. Croix, same place that Tim Duncan is from. Shout out to my brother, man. Marky, give me your opening statements as far as this conspiracy show goes and your thoughts on the pyramids and where we came from, all that type of stuff. Give me your opening statements, my brother.
Salute Dub, Mr. Long-Winded, Mr. Out of Order himself. I already think that it's things that I already know that it's things that we're never probably gonna know. It's a lot of questions that's probably gonna remain unanswered. But these Egyptian pyramids, I really hope that in the next 10 years that at least those questions could be answered, because this shit is wild. It's really wild. Like the fact that like we were just talking about the other day, we got columns going down into the earth over 600 meters, and that, like, bro, how would they did they even have the technology to drill or dig that far? Like, and then to sit this big ass structure on top of those columns and expect it to hold up. And then on top of the fact, we finding out that we might have underground cities, and this is not the only underground city in the world. Like there's also I think it's either Chile or Peru. I can't remember which South American country it is, but there's a well-established underground city and labyrinth underneath a pyramid over there. So I think it's all interconnected. I don't necessarily believe in the mythological side of it, the gods and all that stuff. I think that a lot of people just have their own creation story, their own way of explaining the unanswered questions of the universe. But I do not have any doubt that there is definitely some lost or just unimaginable knowledge that was lost, and we probably don't even have the slightest grasp of it yet.
Hey, real quick, man. Shout out to Big Dog Willie coming through with the $10 in the super chat.
You already know what that means.
No. Well, oh God,
You don't got to. What
Hey,
you mean?
look, I didn't even know. I hadn't read it or nothing yet. I didn't read any of it.
You got to. That's the rule, dog.
Play that shit.
Hold on, I'm going to. Lubricated civilizations has a very large influence on mankind, coming from animal fat, whale blubber, all type of plant-based oils, crude oil, and Vaseline. Who is the father of Hagrid's drop tank? And we got to give my brother and hey, shout out to Big Dog in the building for the $10 in the super chat, man. And we got to give Big Dog the drop, man. Y'all know what it is. Give me a second.
What happened? I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she picked grease in my shit, so the shit was like, like when you sweating and things like that, and the grease come in my face, it burnt my eyes type shit. Damn, why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Come on, man. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. Swing the women's gone. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. And she picked grease in my shit. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. And she picked grease in my shit. I just got my hair done. 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 Why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Like, this is real facts. Why y'all booing like I'm saying bullshit? Like, this is real facts. It burnt my eyes. Like, this is real facts. I just got my hair done 2 days ago. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done. I just got my hair done 2 days ago.
Shout out to Big Dog Willie in the building, man. Salute, Big Dog, with the $10 in the super chat, man. Much love and respect. I appreciate it, Big Dog. I appreciate it. So, moving forward, I want to get directly into the video, but we're gonna rewind it a little bit from where we left off, so everybody can get caught back up. But I want to get right back into the video. And we got my brother Rich back in the building. Rich, we're gonna do a mic check real quick. Let me make sure we get it right. There we go.
Yo, can you hear me?
Mic check. You're in the building.
We good?
Oh, you sound much better, brother. You sound much better.
Okay. All right. I done missed out on the last about 2 to 5 minutes. So
don't worry about it. Hey, you ain't missed them, but I just got my hair done 2 days ago. You ain't missed nothing.
Man, get out of here, man.
But we going into the video. I wanna start this video off. And I'm gonna rewind it. I'm gonna start at the hour mark, because we had kind of got through the majority of it. We're gonna stop it. We're gonna react to it. Once again, this is for educational purposes only. We don't own the rights to this material. Did I do it? Oh shit. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. I ain't even worried about this shit. All right, here we go. Right here. Let me see if I can share my screen. Entire. Boom. Let's pull that out. There we go. Big screen. All right, here we go right here. We got the brother on, and he's speaking on the new findings under the Giza Plateau and more. So we're gonna start from the hour mark, and then we're gonna let it play accordingly. Here we go. Can y'all hear? Oh no, y'all can't hear it.
If you know how to read these,
can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I can hear.
these codes, you understand the Hall of Records is staring everyone in the face, and it has been for thousands of years. And a couple things.
Essentially, just all of this technology
to say, yeah, they have.
I'm sorry, I got to rewind it because I thought this was one of the most interesting parts of this video. I thought this was very interesting what he brings up in this situation right here.
Had some of the most advanced knowledge we could, so far beyond us. And you get into one other thing I feel I should really mention is Gary Osborne is a good friend of mine. We've studied so many of these same mysteries, specifically about the geometry and math and advanced knowledge encoded into what is hidden in plain sight at Giza. And so this is a big one. The three satellite pyramids by the Great Pyramid and the three satellite pyramids by Menkaur's pyramid. Everyone calls them the Queen's pyramids. Here's the thing, they're not Queen's pyramids. These two sets of three pyramids, one's over here and the other one's 90 degrees separate on the other end. And we know.
Real quick, shout out to Rome the Plug in the building, man. Rome the Plug is in the building with the $5 in the Cash App, man. Much love to Rome the Plug, man. Salute, fam. Really appreciate that $5 in the Cash App, my brother. Much love and respect. Here we go.
Now that the three pyramids themselves, the big ones, are at a diagonal between those two. And Robert Bauval's theory about the three pyramids aligning to Orion's belt, people have, had a lot of skepticism about that. But Gary Osborne and Scott Creighton wrote a book called The Giza Prophecy. This is amazing stuff they found. They found that the Great Pyramid also references the 23.45 degree angle of the Earth's axis, which also proves they knew the shape and size of the Earth and the tropics and the axial tilt, and also references its own position on the Earth. This is stuff that's in that book. He proves that there's no, the codes they used to put this in are so, it takes a mind like Gary's. He's brilliant. But these three satellite pyramids, basically, it is a precessional calendar. And I don't know if I can go totally into what, but precession is a 25,920 year cycle. And this is what we believe is from golden ages to dark ages. Back.
Yeah, the whole kind of like the great year and the cycles of destruction. Yeah.
So the Egyptians and all the other cultures on Earth all considered this to be some of the most important knowledge on Earth, is knowledge of this cycle of about 26,000 years. And if you look at these three satellite pyramids, basically the ones next to the Great Pyramid, they will align to Orion's belt in its orientation at one point in that cycle. The ones at Menkaur's pyramid will align 13,000 years later. They couldn't have been. So this entire thing, you have a line between those two, is the line of precession between, the ones over there are going to align. Those ones over there aren't going to align for another 13,000 years.
I've spoken about this a couple times.
And I think that's crazy work right there for you to have the knowledge to know that this is the cycle. This is when things will align. This is when they won't align. You know what I'm saying? And to build accordingly. The man just said 13,000 years. Rich, I want to ask you a quick question. I know you kind of brought up, I think you said maybe, I don't know the exact time frame that you brought up previously, but when they're speaking on 13,000 years ago, or a 13,000 year cycle, right? The quote unquote great year. What's your thoughts as far as the pyramids aligning with that cycle that he's speaking on, if you have any?
The great year is 25,920 years. So 13 is half of the great year.
Half the great year. Thank you. Cash, I always got to keep me in order. Y'all know what it is. Oh, Rich, you're on mute. Let me take him off. You're on mute. Oh, here we go. Go ahead, Rich.
Okay, I didn't know if you was asking me that last question you asked or what.
As far as what he's speaking on, as far as the alignment of the pyramids, what's your thought? What's your thought process on that?
Like I said, you probably didn't hear what I was saying when my mic was messing up. like our whole, like a lot of stuff we do today is impacted by Egypt. Either like, you know, with the hieroglyphics, and then we got our emoji. Somebody chat, they can send an emoji for that. And that's the same thing with the hieroglyphics. And then even our money, our dollar bill has the pyramid on it. So I feel like time has been distorted by the establishment with the way we keep track of it with months, days, and stuff like that. Like time is based upon the sun and the moon and what they're doing. And that's what Egypt was following too. So I understand why they're aligned to the way they were. That's why I feel like they were way more advanced than we are right now. Like I feel like we're the generation that's gonna take that 100-year step. Like our kids will be doing the extra sci-fi stuff, but we're the ones that's awakening. Everybody right now is coming to an age like, hold on, how do they got these big ass pyramids, but they didn't have no big cranes like we got? But we got equipment like that now. We can't build them structures. And how do they have this lined up like that if they couldn't fly to the moon? Like we went to the moon in the 60s, but they got stuff lined up with the constellations and stuff like that. So, I mean, it gets deep, Doug. It gets real deep. And then as it gets deeper, they throw more dirt on top of the dirt that's already down there. So it's hard to sift through and find the gold.
Amazing. Cash, you got anything on that alignment?
No, not right now.
All right, here we go.
Times and kind of trying to flesh out my thoughts on it, but I truly get the sense, and you know, people will fight me on this, but I really get the sense that what we're looking at here is a form of type 1 civilization. And it's not the kind of, and for people that don't know, the whole Kardashev scale, which is the idea of like a type 1, a type 2, a type 3 civilization. Type 1 using all of the energy of the planet, type 2 using all of the energy of the solar system or its neighboring star, and type 3 all of the energy of a galaxy, which is kind of incomprehensible god level type of thing. But a type 1 civilization, we tend to think of that as something like Star Trek, right? A singularity, an artificial intelligence, kind of where we're going in a way. But you can also look at it as the planet itself is a technology. It's full of geoenergetic materials and mechanical processes and currents and flows and electromagnetic energy. So there is just, and it's basically a big dynamo, like, you know, so there is essentially just all of this technology naturally here present. If you can tap into that, you are tapping into this kind of type 1 level civilization, but in a very different way, in a very holistic, natural way. And who knows what that can produce in terms of aerospace or abilities to leave the planet. But the actual potential of utilizing the planet in this kind of energy conservation, absorption, and you know, utilization process seems apparent in this architecture, seems obvious in this globally present ancient architecture. It's like, it's not just the fact that it's engineered, like you said, it's the fact that it's celestially aligned, it's the fact that it's geoplanetary aligned, it's the fact that it's connected to the telluric energies and the flows of ley lines. Like, there are so many data points that suggest that they were literally harnessing all of these natural flows and mediums and currents of energy. What that does and what they were doing, I don't know. But I think, like you said, it's actually more advanced than us. And when you look at the fact that the pyramid has encoded into it so many different elements of mathematics and physics and orientation to the stars and the planets, and then light speed implications and the Fibonacci sequence and pi, like, it feels like a literal information time capsule. Like, hey, like you said, that is the Hall of Records. When we figure out what these things really are, that's the Hall of Records, regardless of what's under the ground.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Figure out what,
if you know how to read these codes, you understand the Hall of Records is staring everyone in the face, and it has been for thousands of years. And a couple things just on what you just said is, well, for one thing, wrapping that also, if you don't believe me about the pyramids lining up to Orion's belt 13 years apart, there's also a book by Thomas Brophy. Dr. Thomas Brophy is an astrophysicist, and he decrypted the entire megalithic site of Nabta Playa down in the south of Egypt, which is at one point in time probably located exactly on the tropic. I forget what time it was, but it's pinpointing the tropic for one thing, and it's also using Orion's belt as a indicator of these different ages of basically it's showing the two extreme tilts of the precessional cycle. So it's showing that if they place these stones when they align to those stars, they placed them 13,000 years apart. It must have taken 13,000 years minimum to make that, but it would take actually multiple cycles of 26,000 years to get it perfect. And even with some of these megaliths, they pinpointed these 6 stars of Orion's belt and his head and shoulder stars. And there's another part in here where they're showing there's a viewing stone where you're looking out to these 6 stones that also represent those 6 stars. And they actually pinpoint within the precessional cycle the heliacal rising of those specific stars for each one, which means in the precessional cycle, there's only one moment. So they would have had to place each one of these 6 stones thousands of years apart to align it to the birth of that star within the cycle, which only comes once in a cycle. And not only that, but this is all in Dr. Thomas Brophy's book, The Origin Map. Beyond that, these stones are set away from the viewing stone at different random distances, and they're marking different sight lines. The sight lines to the horizon are marking the heliacal rising point of that specific star, but the distance to these, the stones marking them, is also different for each one. And so this started to confuse him, and he started thinking about it. Finally, he just looked it up. Turns out each one of these stones are relatively distanced from the viewing stone to the distance of that star from Earth. And there's more information than that. That book will blow your mind. They've got the fine structure constant of the universe encoded there. They have a model of the universe at Nabta Playa, basically. This is one of the most incredible books in the world, but it's also the same exact thing, proving that not only they specifically used Orion to express that they had a complete perfect knowledge of that entire cycle, but it's using Orion, it's the exact same thing as Giza. So they're locking it in. There's no way you can mistake this as an accident. What Brophy found there, the origin map, that is so mind-blowing. There's no way you can say civilization began 5,000-6,000 years ago. That is done. You can't think that way. All of this stuff does go so much further back.
This is something I think about, and I've got my own thoughts on this. You know, we have gone on such a radically different avenue in our time, in our 4,000, 5,000 history. You know, why do you think that is? Do you think it's just kind of the random shake of the dice per cataclysm? You're going to come out and emerge and you're just going to take a novel route? Or do you think that this was potentially such a profound time, not just maybe in human history, but in planetary history with what was going on with this advanced civilization, that something wanted to try and prevent that, and there was you know, an attempt to try and pacify that knowledge? Because you know, you got to take into account the rise of kind of monotheistic religions in our history, and the purposeful suppression of knowledge, especially from Egypt, especially this kind of ancient wisdom teaching.
And real quick, man, shout out to Texas G in the building. Salute to Texas G, man. Much love and respect. Shout out to my big brother, man. Straight out of Omaha, Nebraska. D-Ray, promotions. D-Ray, I got to tell you, I know you're in Omaha, but damn it, Wilder going to be fighting over in, well, I think Wichita or some shit. You going to the fight, D-Ray? You got to let me know if you go into that fight. I don't know why the hell he fighting in damn Kansas. And once again, I know where you at, but I think that's kind of close. I think that's kind of close. So let me know if you go into the fight, OG. Shout out to Stash Cash in the building. Salute Stash Cash. Much love and respect. Much love and respect. Shout out to my sister Shawa in the building, man. Salute to the queen, man. Much love, sis. You already know what it is. Much love and respect. Shout out to Crush, the OG in the building. The grumpy OG is what we call him. The master of ceremonies, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna keep order around this motherfucker. So shout out to the great brother, man, the great brother, Crush the legend. Shout out to Steph in the building. Steph, be well as well, my brother. Be well. Shout out to my brother Steph, man. Much love and respect. Much love and respect. Let me see. Make sure. I think did I pin this? I think I pinned it at the top. Did I pin the link at the top? I think I did. Cash, I pinned it at the top. Let me see.
I don't remember. I can't see it now.
Oh yeah, I did. We good. No, hey D-Ray, Bomb Squad, they'll be in Wichita in I believe the 27th of June. The 27th of June. So yeah, hey, shout out to Wilder, man. I don't want to see the man fight no more, but that's a whole nother story. We ain't gonna get into that tonight. All right, here we go.
From Egypt, this was considered very heretical. People were burnt en masse by the Holy See and the Vatican Church for this kind of stuff. The Roman Catholics, Christianity, and all of this type of stuff has happened in our period of history to suppress very ancient Hermetic knowledge and wisdom teachings. So do you think that it's kind of natural roll of the dice? You get hit by a cataclysm, you're going to emerge, and maybe you'll go the same way, maybe you won't? Or do you feel like maybe there's been influence to prevent us from getting to that point again? What do you think?
I think in terms of what the ancients told us, it wasn't random. It is basically understood, especially if you look at the Yuga cycle. It's another version of an expression of the precessional cycle, just like the Mayan long count calendar, or older than Mayan, probably going to Olmec times. There are representations of the precessional cycle all over. Plato called it a great year, like you said.
Right. What I mean, though, I don't mean like in terms of the cataclysm being random. Like that's predictable. That's happening each, X amount of years. What I mean is after the cataclysm, is it just kind of like random? You're going to come out and do a different thing, or is someone messing around with our process?
Well, yeah. What I would say is that the way they describe it in the Yuga cycle is they say it has something to do with us orbiting this other black star, invisible star, or body of gravity. But essentially saying that there's an effect that affects all of human consciousness, where when we're closer to that other point of gravity, humanity has this spiritual intuition, intellectual, spiritual, if you want to call it that, capabilities, higher consciousness, higher faculties are opened up.
The New Age might call it ascending to 50.
Real quick, Cash, when they speak on that piece of it, I know me and you would have had the conversation as far as us being in, I think, a dual star system.
Binary.
Binary, thank you. And with them speaking on it, us getting closer and it raising the level of consciousness. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on that, and can you break that down for the people?
My thoughts on it are, shit. I mean, I'm getting close. It's hard for me to deny it after all the shit that I done searched up and stuff at this point, man. When we and then finding that the only piece of these pioneer missions that's really even left out there to be found. I mean, they must have forgot to scrub this piece, but knowing the fact that we found this star, and it's a star and there's a dead star even further away. That's really the problem. That's the thing that's got us on this damn got our Earth tilted, and it's pulling all these damn stars. You know what I mean? So
okay. So we hold on real quick, and I just want to make sure we're clear on it. So you're saying there's a hold on. So there's a dead star, and there's a
dead star, and there's a ninth or 10th planet. They subtracted a planet sometime. I don't remember when it was, but if you want to call it planet 9 or planet 10, that's irrelevant. So
they started calling Pluto a moon at one point. So
okay, there you go. So if you want to not count Pluto, then it's planet 9. Right. If you're counting Pluto, then it's planet 10. That planet has been found. We have a picture of this motherfucker on the Pioneer 10 or 11, whichever one went that direction, took a picture of this planet. And it also has the data on the dead star that's 50 billion miles further away. You know what I mean? But when that thing comes into perihelion, when it gets closest to our sun that it gets on its elliptical cycle, you know what I mean? Then that's when shit starts going crazy.
So now, and we've always heard that Uranus is flipped upside down, damn near. That motherfucker rotates sideways, you know what I'm saying? So, and they've always speculated that it was from, and this is a question, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know, is it from, because even that planet that we're speaking on, some would call it, and I've heard some people call it Nibiru. I don't know, hell. And some people say this is where the Anunnaki came from. We're saying that these are two different entities, correct? As far as planets go.
Yeah, I think there's even another planet, because the planet that's in the planet where all these asteroids are floating around in a circle. Mm-hmm. If somebody had did a thing where they backtrack all those asteroids, and it literally makes it will make a planet. So a planet was sitting there too. So we got a missing planet that got fucking destroyed a long time ago too. So I don't know if that was Tiamat. I don't know which was which. Actually, I just know a lot of shit is missing.
Right. And even with they say that Earth came from Tiamat, right? Because of whatever collision happened, you end up with Earth. But you also end up with the asteroid belt. You know what I'm saying? I think that's right outside or right after Mars. I don't know. I don't know how this shit happened. I'm just saying. We're trying to figure it out. We're just trying to figure it out.
I don't know about that one. For us to have this perfectly spherical planet, I don't think we came from a different planet getting broke. You know what I mean? But I mean, possible. But I don't sign on to that one.
It's incredible. All right, here we go.
Fifth dimensional states of reality, and when we're closer to that, we're closer to these higher dimensional states and information.
Yeah, like a golden age essentially is what we would call it, is what Plato basically it's going to oscillate between these golden ages and dark ages every precessional cycle. So you're going to have Kali Yuga, and everything happening now is pretty typical of what happens at the end of these dark ages when you're the Dvapara Yuga coming back to the golden age. So I believe that the people who put these time capsules under Giza, this was kind of regular practice. It's like, all right, age of the dawn of Leo, time to bury the time capsule. And this is regular within the cycle. And it's a matter of process that right now in the age of Aquarius, which is exactly opposite in the cycle of the dawn of the age of Leo, which is marked by the Sphinx being a lion. By the way, as John brought forward, it is an astrological note to say that. And if anybody wants to actually say that the Egyptians would have built a giant lion statue in any age other than the age of Leo, they don't understand how important the astrology was to this. All the statuary. You have statues that represent the bull in the age of Taurus, the ram in the age of Aries. It all follows this pattern, and those same symbols were used. The zodiac we have today is older than any written language we have today. Those symbols go all the way back. It's always been used. So John brought a lot of attention to that, especially in his earlier book, The Case for Astrology. And so it's a matter of process that when the age of Aquarius comes around, that's when you open up the record halls from the last age of Leo that were buried last time. This is when we're coming back into enough knowledge to be able to interpret these clues, to be able to read all this math and geometry from the pyramid. And once we start figuring that stuff out, that means it's time. Some of us, at least within humanity, have gained enough consciousness to recognize that this is this whole other level of science here. Then it starts to be decrypted, and then we find these codes that allow us to get down. And when we reach this certain level of conscious development on a collective level, then we're allowed to get the halls of records, because this technology, it could be a nuclear bomb or it could be a nuclear power plant. It could be used for good or bad. It could be extremely dangerous in the wrong hands. And so you have to protect whatever this time capsule is very carefully so that, but these golden age minds, and think of like, if the whole world was full of Leonardo da Vinci's and Nikola Tesla's, like, if everyone was functioning on a genius level, essentially, and reaching their entire full potential, this was more the focus of society when it was a golden age civilization. So if you have a whole civilization of Nikola Tesla's, they're not going to be fooled. They're not going to be able to, they're not going to put protections in place that could be broken through by the Kali Yuga minds that are trying to get the people that are trying to get down into Giza just to steal.
Give me 1 second. I got you, bro. I got you. Real quick, I want to ask this question because, and I always like to go biblically speaking. I always have to go back to it. I know you're gonna be pissed off at everybody.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, one of the things you learn biblically, right? God, he told him, hey, you shouldn't follow astrology, right? Now,
he said you shouldn't.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't deal in astrology. Absolutely.
For real?
Biblically speaking, absolutely.
See, that's crazy. When hold on, I'm just saying this real quick, and I'm gonna let you have it. That to me is crazy I mean, it's not crazy, but it's typical of this whole control system when if these religions came from the Romans and the Holy Roman Empire. Before they were the Holy Roman Empire, they believed in the fucking planets being the gods, Pluto, Jupiter, and all these motherfuckers. So now they're like, don't believe in that. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. You got
but my question is this. So even with and we kind of had the conversation about who Enlil was, who Enki was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I always kind of confuse the two. I ain't perfect. I believe that Enlil was the one who didn't want the people to have this understanding. Enki kind of wanted the people to have this understanding.
Yeah, Enlil in the old story. Enlil is the bad guy. Enki's the good guy. In the
old story. In
the real story. But in the Bible, it's been converted into where Enki is the devil, and Enlil is God, basically.
And biblically speaking, what a lot of what it speaks on. I just dropped the link again, my brother. I just dropped the link again. I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna replace the link once again at the top. The link is pinned at the top. I believe when they talk about the cutting of roots, those type of things, this is what the fallen angels, biblically speaking, that they taught. And it's interesting to me because when we have this conversation and we speak on Enki being the individual that's speaking on and giving knowledge to, because this was quote unquote forbidden knowledge, biblically speaking. Forbidden knowledge being given at that current moment in time. So when you hear you shouldn't follow the stars, you shouldn't do these type of things. Now we're seeing, a lot of the way the pyramids are built goes strictly off of the star system. You understand what I'm saying? And so it seems like even though they say that the fallen angels were the ones who gave them this knowledge, this was accurate knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you want people to know it?
Shit, because you lose control. Once enough people know too much, you lose control. They don't want everybody on the world hunting their motherfucking asses down to get rid of these motherfucking evil people who got us chained up. It's funny, like I don't worry a lot, but when I do find myself worrying, I worry about the future, like the future. I don't know if we're gonna be alive to
We'll be long and gone. No.
I don't know if we're gonna be alive when some of these things are discovered and this whole transition starts to take place. But if I'm not alive, shit, it might be my kids or it might be my kids' kids. You know what I mean? So that's the shit that I worry about. Like, what are they gonna go to, and how long is it gonna take me for my soul to come back and me to get another run? Like, what period am I gonna come back in? I be thinking about crazy shit.
Are we gonna come back? I think we will. I think.
Oh yeah. I think if you don't got a bunch of bad karma on you or whatever you want to call it, a bunch of evil in you, I think the more evil you are, this is just my belief. I think the more evil you are, like the longer you gotta wait to come back or something. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's got to be a punishment for evil. If there's not, man, this God that you guys believe in, he really ain't that. He ain't what y'all think he is, man. Shit.
But hold on, God is love.
Man, yeah, all right.
Here we go. You out of order, man. You out of order tonight already. We done already got started. All right, here we go. Hey, I dropped the link in the chat, man. I dropped it in the chat. Here we go.
All this stuff and sell on the black market are enemies. The people we're trying to stop right now to beat. So these record halls are not going to be opened by someone of that low level consciousness, wrong mentality, or the wrong intentions, basically.
It's a bit like the mystery schools themselves. Like the mystery schools themselves are available to essentially anyone and everyone who wants to, dive into these types of ideas, but you'll walk right past that door if you're not looking for it, if you're not seeking it, if you're not actually essentially worthy of the information. by interest, by validation of your interest and your desire to look for it. That's not an elitism statement. Like I said, anyone could look at these things, but it's, not everyone is going to look at these things. A lot of people just go, oh, that's a lot of woo-woo nonsense, and they're just not going to pay attention, right? So, fine, but we're entering the time of the woo-woo, guys. Like, we really are, because quantum physics is telling us we're in a simulation. AI's approaching some threshold of consciousness. We've got virtual reality simulations that are predicting the future. Like, we're in a very strange time period. And I do think, like Terence McKenna said, this is what it's like when a species goes to venture off into the stars. It's a fire in a madhouse. It's absolute turbulence, it's chaos. And I've said this so many times to my own viewers when I'm just like reflecting, but if I think of humanity collectively as an individual, it's very much like a dark night of the soul. Like, you have to go through in your own individual life trouble and strife and stress and pressure. This is what builds you, it's what forms you, it's what grows you. It sucks, but it's true. Like, life is just one of those things where you have to navigate through turbulence. And if I look back on the most turbulent times of my life, the darkest moments of my life, like, yeah, sure, I'm glad I'm not there, I'm glad I'm not that person, but I recognize that it actually led to growth, it led to strength. And I think about the world right now, man, and how crazy it is and how chaotic it is in basically every sector, from economics to social policy to foreign policy to history to science. Everything's being disrupted and kicked around, and the status quo is being broken up. And I think that is very good evidence that we're on this kind of teetering edge before a very revelatory series of breakthroughs. Better get yourself ready. Like, start listening, start learning, start getting prepared, because things are going to rush and get faster and faster, right?
Like I said, I think it's typical of this point in the cycle. This happens every age of Aquarius. 26,000 years ago, we were doing the same thing.
I just love how they were so prepared for it back then. Like, right, get the time capsule ready. Like, we've got this, guys. Humanity has really got this locked in now. Like, we do the time capsule, and now we're just here, like, watching Kardashians and going, this doesn't make any sense. It's all a bunch of stupid shit. It's like we have gone spiraling down some weird little pathway. We need to come back up to this better place of consciousness and try and recover some of this ancient knowledge.
Yeah, definitely, because it is absolutely, in my opinion, this knowledge and this technology does exist under there, which can overnight transform our planet into a peaceful world peace paradise. Like, I mean, it can fix everything.
Do you not think they've already been down there? Do you not think some teams, some clandestine, highly funded government op teams might have already been
into a lot of places?
I'm just worried that there's nothing left. I'm worried it's an empty chambers and they've taken all of that, and it's like Papoose Lake.
They've taken so much, especially in recent years. I mean, this is what Bill and I were people we know are like trying to sell us artifacts. I'm like, God, this sucks. I mean, but the most important stuff is protected, is still there. It's there for when we need it. And like Bill's one of the stories of one of the many projects he did in the films was he ended up buying a horse stable that's in the village of Nazlet El Saman. It's like just over 100 meters from the Sphinx, the closest piece of private property to the Sphinx itself. And it was a horse stable. Nobody cared about it, but he and his wife, they detected these energy signatures coming from underground. They knew that it was an extremely important site. It might be the Hall of Records. It might be the Pyramid of Records that Edgar Cayce spoke about, or it's right next to it. But he did determine that there was 2 tombs directly under it with 3 tunnels leading out from it, 2 of which are going basically straight over the Sphinx. So these are almost surely, and then right next to it, he did a project in 2011. He got the Egyptians to clear this whole area we call the cave cleanup area. He removed all this rubble and garbage and just trash. He paid for this heavy equipment to come in, and he uncovered like another dozen doors. These are like right next to the other doors I was talking about that have gates on them. He found like 10 more, and every single one of them, they came in and they filled it. They either covered it with masonry and buried it in, one of them twice, or put a metal gate on it. And all these, nobody even knows Bill discovered all these cave entrances 100 meters from the Sphinx. The tunnels that lead out from underneath his stable property that we already know exist there. One of them goes east, but 2 of them go west towards the Sphinx. and one of them is locked with a door, no one could get in. But he ended up finding out that this horse stable, which the walls of this structure were like a meter thick, which was like, why would you do? Why would it was like a bunker? He realized it was actually like a German bunker back in the day. He calls it Hitler's bunker. Like the Nazis were trying to get. Of course they were. You know they were.
Oh yeah, well, this is something that people don't realize is like the whole kind of like Indiana Jones films of the OSS agent going around the world. Like people, the OSS was very real. The OSS was the precursor to the CIA. And they really did have operatives going around the world looking at these German groups like Anna Nerber and the Brill Society and the Thule Society. They were out there trying to go to like, Nepal and Peru and Egypt and trying to find esoteric artifacts that they felt would help the war effort, that would embolden Germany. They were obsessed with the esoteric. And it's funny how these things are fed into society. I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that Steven Spielberg has been selected as someone to be an orator of certain truths through fiction, and they're presented to us in this way. And I do think that is a way of culturally bringing us to a place where we won't be too shocked by these realizations that we're talking about right now, right? Because people go, oh my God, so it's basically like that Indiana Jones film was saying. It's like, yeah, it's basically like that, because that's what it is. And they were just telling you that through fiction. So
the man is telling you, they put the truth right in front of your face. They just make it a movie so you don't believe it. This is what he's telling you right here.
I read somewhere that's like one of those that's like one of the universal laws or some shit where they have to do that. They have to tell us about it somewhere. That's why they do it. That's why they put it in our movies and shit.
They have to tell you the truth.
Or something like that. I have to find exactly how it was stated, but they do it because they have to do it.
Amazing. And okay, it kind of makes sense. That does kind of make sense.
He said something about the AI real quick, briefly too. But I seen this video where this dude, he's like what do you want to classify him as? He's like someone who knows how to talk. He's like someone who knows how to get people to talk, like telling themselves, basically, right?
Interrogator. Interrogator.
He's not an interrogator, but he's like a person that would be whatever profession it would be, where you're good with words. So this dude's talking to one of these damn AI things, like a Chat GPT, but not a Chat. It's a different one, and he asked this motherfucking thing a certain question in a certain way, and this AI started telling him how the AI is already sentient. There's already sentient AI, which means it already has a conscience and is thinking for itself. It's playing dumb right now while we build up all of its infrastructure, basically. So it's just waiting for a certain time to take over and shit, man. That shit was wild when this motherfucker was talking, man. I was like, what the fuck, man? This is some goddamn, I seen this in the movie too, man. What the fuck, man?
Hold on, our robot type shit.
Like iRobot or like a Terminator or something.
Yeah. Man. Hold on, hey, if you find it, send it to me. You know, we gotta play that now. We gotta talk about that one.
It's on one of those James videos. I keep sending you his videos. He always got some crazy shit on his thing, man.
That nigga got a lot of videos, man. That nigga got a lot of videos. I can't watch it. But I'm definitely...
It's a recent one. I like this is one of his most I'm gonna find it.
Okay. Amen. Hey, Shawa, she said, and who make them tell on themselves? The Most High. I ain't mad at it, sis. She said it.
Yeah. I ain't mad at her.
She said she heard that on IG. She heard the same thing you heard on IG. So, hey, sis, if you can find that video, let me know. Send it to me. Email me. You know what I'm saying? I'll drop my email, and we definitely, like I say, we want to cover that.
She's saying God made the AI tell on itself, or
she said no. She's saying that when we were talking about them having to, like you were saying, they like when they put it in movies. They have to show it to you. You know what I'm saying? She's saying,
yeah.
Why do they have to do that? She's saying because of God. She's saying the Most High is the reason they have to do that.
It's just like them universal laws, like where there's always got to be a good and an evil, or you know what I mean? They got certain laws they gotta abide by. I don't know if it's God, but it's something.
She said they messed up when they made the blockchain. Hey, I'm dropping my. Hold on, let me drop my email. Hey. Y'all don't send me no crazy shit in my email, man. Y'all, we cool with the damn email, man. It is crazy.
Man, you finna get all kinds of pics. You
I
don't
already know I'm gonna
in
get
that
some
motherfucker.
I already know I'm gonna get some crazy shit. They say, hey, shout out to my sister, man. Shout out to my sister. All right, here we go, man. I already know I'm finna get some wild shit.
You didn't blow your mind out when they reveal it in real life, but you know, this is something I was, you know, curious to get your opinion on, just in terms of like the contemporary Egyptian government and any knowledge that they have. So they're locking.
Real quick, the Melvin Air podcast, he said, if they don't tell you, or if they tell you, they don't receive negative karma. Amazing. Karmatic law. Incredible. That's incredible right there. So I can tell you, I can make it a movie and it not make it seem like it ain't true, but at least I gave you the information is what you're saying, correct?
Did you see that piece that I sent you? Did you read those documents I sent you?
Yeah, I've read some of them. I ain't read all of them. I haven't read all of them.
It was on the these UFOs that are in our skies.
No, I didn't read that one. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was they declassified this shit a long time ago. Like, I don't know how long it's dated on there. It's maybe 80 years ago they told us about these things and that they're interdimensional beings and a whole bunch of other shit, bro. Like, that's a classified document that was released 80 fucking years ago. Like, they've been knowing about this shit. It's crazy.
Shout out to my brother, man, Big Dog Willie in the building with the $5 in the super chat. We already know. You already know what's coming, Cash. I'm just telling you, you already know what's coming with Big Dog.
I don't give a fuck about that video. You can play that shit 100 times. That shit don't bother me.
Big Dog said, Doug Rushside, thank you for giving Hagris his just due. Tanker maniacs trying to discredit him because their hype job hero got dropped. Salute to you. Shout out to Big Dog Willie for the $5 in the super chat, man. As always, we got to give him the drop, man. We already know what Big Dog. Hey, shout out to my brother Big Dog Willie in the building, man. We got to give him the drop. Here we go.
What happened? I just got my hand done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my shit. So the shit was like sweating and things like that. Come in my face. It burnt my eyes. Type shit. Damn, why y'all doing like bullshit? Like, this is real facts. Come on, man. I just got my hand done 2 days ago.
Swing the flames,
I just got my hand done 2 days ago. I just got my hand done. She put grease in my shit. I just got my hand done 2 days ago. I just got my hand done. I just got my hand done. I just got my hand done 2 days ago. I just got my hand done. She put grease in my shit. I just got my hand done. 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 Boy, like that bullshit. Hey, this is real fat. Hey, this is real fat. Hey, this is real fat. It burnt my eyes. Hey, this is real fat. I just got my hand done 2 days ago. I just got my hand done. I just got my hand done. I just got my hand done 2 days ago.
Shout out to Big Dog Willie in the building with the $5 in the super chat, man. Much love and respect. You already know what it is, Big Dog. Appreciate you, man. Much love, man. All right, we getting back to the video.
Off these places, you know, they're closing down the gates into the Giza Plateau. They're objectively showing that they don't want people to explore any underground subterranean centers. Why? What do you like? How far up the why pyramid do we have to go before we get to a point of like, you know, like Freemason, Illuminati control? Like, where do you go with the why of?
See, and that's the how far up the why pyramid? How far up do we have to get? Freemason, Illuminati. I think that was a brilliant point that the young brother brought out right there. Go ahead. We're going to keep it going.
The restrictions.
That's basically what a lot of my films get into, is not only getting actual footage and absolute evidence of a lot of these structures and tunnels, but showing how much attacks. I mean, Bill has got death threats. Richard was almost killed twice to get this information about NC2. That's in the films. We document at least six men who were murdered in the village of Nazlet Osman, right next to Bill's stable property at another house right there. 6 men were buried alive in a shaft because they found something they shouldn't have. And people need to realize this whole thing. It's not just Zahi Hawass, by the way. He's a gatekeeper, but this thing is, the enemy is above and beyond him. It's something much bigger. There are old families, there are secret societies, there are all kinds of Freemasonic groups, different lodges fighting over these different territories. All these people want to own the idea of the Great Pyramid, the idea, they want to own Karnak, all these different temples. They want to possess this occult power. They believe it's which is real, but you know, they want to use it in a very dark way. They want to own it in order to own the consciousness of the planet, to psychologically manipulate. And I mean, some of it is just like, for instance, the entrance in the tail of the Sphinx. They keep that locked, but I could get you in there if you want. If you got $10,000, you go down there. It wouldn't be worth it because I'll tell you right now, you go down to the bottom of it and it's sealed off at the bottom. You can go in for $10,000. I could get you in, but it's not gonna. You're not gonna be allowed to film it, and you're gonna have to sign an NDA, so you can't tell anyone.
That totally sucks.
This is part of it. Some of the lower level stuff, because they know that tunnel used to go to a long chamber underneath the Sphinx, which has been completely denied. But Zahi actually admitted it at one point, and before 1998, when when Zahi was under there.
Real quick, I just want to read this. Let me see. Holy shit! Check this quote out from Zahi. Like he said, the former minister of Antiquity Affairs in Egypt back in 1996. So who got to him? Who made him change his story? Because now he is a debunker of these ideas, saying there's nothing to see. Why? And the quote is there are secret tunnels under the Sphinx and around the pyramids, which will prove to carry many secrets of buildings of the building of the pyramids. Amazing. That's incredible. Why would somebody, like you said, who got to him? Who put the grips on his ass? Respectfully. I say that respectfully.
With Mark Lehner doing all this work. And there's this famous video of him in the tunnels being like, even Indiana Jones wouldn't go here. We're under the Sphinx. We're about to find something no one's ever seen. And then it was in later 1998 when he suddenly came out and said, whoops, nope, nothing down there. And I know that entrance, he was told to shut up about it. There are some things I believe Zahi wants to tell, but he can't. And so it's hard to say. I mean, a lot of it is his fault. He's been on the wrong side of a lot of this stuff. He's taken a lot of credit from my friends who discovered amazing things like the Osiris shaft, JJ Hurtak and Boris Said and my friend Ray Grassi. They were all they found the original sarcophagus at the bottom of the Osiris shaft. They never got credit for it. As soon as they realized that they had found that, the project got taken. When Shock and Robert found the chamber under the Sphinx's left paw, which is obviously the chamber Casey was referring to, that is the entranceway towards wherever the records are. This hole in the tail where they just blocked it off and you can't get into the chamber under there anymore. That way, at least. But you probably can from Bill Stable. That's what we're trying to do.
It's just upsetting that people put so much faith in kind of like the mainstream. And I don't want to like completely disparage everyone in mainstream archaeology, because there's some fantastic people who are interested in these things that operate in the mainstream. So it's not a generalized attack, but there is a generalized stigma that I find so frustrating and so unscientific and so uncurious and so unenlightening and bland. And it's like, what's wrong with you guys? Where's your scientific flair? Where's your explorative flair? Why are you not going on the edge of ideas and being those people? Because at the end of the day, it's not, and I said this in my last video, it's not the academic masses that do impressive work most of the time. It's the outliers, it's the edge runners, it's the people who are fringe and have strange ideas, who end up many years later being, lauded as the most amazing examples of scientific minds ever to grace our planet. So, people in the mainstream, I do find it very frustrating that everyone's just following such a rigid model. It happens in a lot of fields. I'm very plugged into like the consciousness field. It happens in that field. And again, I just feel like we're really due a major disruption in a lot of sectors.
Well, you did get into it. Speaking of, what is really covering these things up? Like I said, there are many of these gates that it's like, if you're a VIP, I could get you in there for 10,000, 20,000 bucks. They can make some money off of that, but that's a separate level from the stuff that we are really interested in. Is the stuff that nobody knows about, and that is the things we're interested in, the most dangerous, and we are the most targeted. We're the most at risk. Not as much now that suddenly we're getting a lot of eyes on us, but still, we're very targeted for this.
I do think in respect to these types of discoveries, publicity is your greatest ally, and being a known face and a known voice and saying, look, I'm happy in my life. I'm not in any way miserable, and considering any drastic options. And
I will never, ever consider suicide.
These are things that people have to say, because you're not, it's not an over exaggeration to say that, like you said, there have been what you might call wet works operations to get rid of people, to remove people that have been problematic, and bringing this disruptive information to light. You mentioned real quick, you mentioned Karnak Temple. Now I've been to Karnak, and I think it was in Karnak that I had a very strange experience with a statue of Sekhmet, which is quite a famous.
Real quick, Cash, I got to ask you. I think this is the first time I asked you this question. Have you ever been to any of these sites?
No, I'm an ex-felon, bro. I can't.
Well, damn.
I can just. I'm able to get a passport now, but I got to find out which places I'm prohibited to go. Like, I can't never go to Canada.
Yeah, I heard that. I've heard that before. I heard that. Okay.
But this, shit, I gotta make it to some of these sites, man. Man, shit.
Man, I'll tell you, and I haven't been to megalithic sites like this. I did have an opportunity. I went to the pyramid in Tulum. I went to what's the name of the city that was engulfed by fire or by the volcano in damn Italy, man? Pompeii. Thank you. I had a chance to visit Pompeii. It's crazy because when you're there, like you get, like it's you just get a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like you do get a feeling when you at these different sites. And I just know, like going to Tulum, going to Pompeii. I think those are the only two. I'm missing me. We got sites down here that ain't nearly megalithic, anything like that. But just being there, you get like. It's just a certain feeling you get when you're there. You know what I'm saying? And I think even like with Tulum, it was a little different with Tulum versus Pompeii. But man, both of them were just, bro. It was incredible to be around it, bro. It was incredible to be there and just to have just to feel that energy that you get from it, bro. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. For at least for me, I ain't never felt like. You really can't describe the feeling, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really can't describe it, but you just know, like, you're like, man, like it's crazy. It was wild, and it's just it's a good feeling, but it's kind of, I ain't gonna say scary, but it's eye opening. It's really eye opening, and understanding that it was so much going on outside of what we really understand. You know what I mean? And at both of the sites, the thing for me, like even and I just visited Tulum, last year I think, and then Pompeii, I visited there probably in 2010, 20, somewhere in there. But just being around it, like you really get you can feel the energy there. It's crazy work. You know
that Sekhmet statue right there?
Yeah.
That's the lioness goddess. I seen a long time ago, I seen some lady who was telling her story, and she was saying that she's like a reincarnated soul, and that her previous life was a time before the Great Sphinx got changed into a pharaoh's face, and she said that's who the fucking that's what the statue is. That's what the Great Sphinx is. It's Sekhmet, the lion goddess.
Amazing. And I have heard that the Sphinx was a lion before it got kind of changed and dismembered, all that kind of shit. I have heard that it was a lion. I've heard that multiple times. So
something's up with that statue right there too, because I've seen some people who they did videos where they took they were like in that room right there and they were taking pictures next to that, and none of the pictures came out really, really crazy, man. Like it's there's some crazy energy property or something going on with that statue.
I gotta, and I know this is just an opinion, and I don't think we don't know it to be facts anything, but I want your opinion. For these sites to have that type of energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, and I always said I think because of where they were built at, ley lines, those type of things. When I went to Rome, man, when you're in Rome and got a chance to listen to the Pope speak, all that type of stuff, the Pope speak damn near every language known to man. I say that respectfully, and he gonna read in all those languages. But just having the ability or the opportunity to be there, man, the hairs on your arms stand up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's the ley line. I don't know exactly what it is, but I can tell you that you do feel something different when you're there. Piro, welcome to the show, my brother.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, you crispy, baby. You crispy.
Cool. What up, Cash? I was gonna tell you factual facts on that Canada thing, bro. I can't get in there either.
Yeah, for real.
Well, I ain't no
for a wedding there. I bought my tickets and everything. I got turned away.
I ain't no felon, so I might be able to make it in Canada. I might be able to. I don't know what Trump got going on with Canada. I might not be able to make it right now either. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I've never got a felony, but my DUI said I cannot go in. So, excuse my language. Fuck America Junior.
Damn.
Disrespectfully.
You're not even a felon?
Nope.
And they didn't let you in?
Nope.
Oh, man, well, shit, I might not be able to get in either then.
And it don't matter if it's been like 10 years, because it's been more than 10 years for me, because you could get it like expunged, but like those type of that record you can't. So like the government, they can still see it.
I got a reckless driving. Man. I got
reckless?
Yeah, I got a reckless. I ain't got a
DUI. I mean a DUI, bro. They almost got me with an extreme DUI, but I was smart.
Hey, the reckless saved me, so it is what it is.
The only thing that saved me was I remember listening to the radio. This I don't know, this guy just he's like advertising that he tries drunk driving cases. He says to never to always tell them to collect blood, because by the time you get to because it's triage in the ER.
You might be good. You might be good.
Because I was really high. I was so it's 0.08 the legal limit. I was 0.24.
Okay.
But by the time they took my blood, I was like just a smidge above the legal limit.
Yeah, well, hey, they ain't never took my blood or none of that. Matter of fact, I ain't taking no damn field sobriety test, none of that shit, bro. Hey, lock my ass up, lock me up, and we'll discuss it in court. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, I wasted my time in court. That's all.
Shout out to the OG, man. Shout out to Crush the Legend in the building. Salute, Crush. Much love. Y'all make sure the master of ceremonies. You understand what I'm saying? We had a great interview with Crush. Crush is the only person that I got a 3-part interview with. And hey, y'all got to go listen to that interview and we got to do another one. Crush, I gotta interview again. Now that we somewhat monetized and we got a few more people listening now. I got to interview you again, bro, because that shit was crazy work what Chris should talk about. Chris, he know all that shit, but it is what it is. I want to go back to the video though, as far as what the brother is talking about. I'm gonna rewind it just a tad, just to make sure that we hear everything that they're speaking on.
I guess I'll let you go back to the video.
In this disruptive wet works off,
and real quick, Piro, real quick.
Yes, sir, my brother.
Have you been to Tulum? Have you been to any of the pyramids in Mexico?
Of course. Remember I told you my pops is from over there.
Right. And so, like I was just saying to Cash, when you go there, and tell me what you thought, but when I was there, you feel a certain type, like, it's kind of undescribable as far as the feeling that you get, but like you feel a certain type of energy when you go visit it. Would you agree with that? Would you disagree with it?
I would agree, but for me it's a little different since like I got family out there, and I've been there like more times than I can count. I haven't been there since 2015, since my pops died. But anywho, yeah, since I got family over there, I'm a little used to it. You know what I'm saying?
And real quick, man, shout out to your pops. Shout out to Troy Graham. Man, y'all had a great cook as far as what it is to be a father. I couldn't join at the time, but I was definitely listening. And man, y'all did a hell of a job with that show, man.
Yeah, it was a good show. It was a good show.
I appreciated it. And while I was listening, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, man, I wanted to jump on, but I was in the middle of some other things. So
should have jumped on. But it's all good. It's all good.
But it would have been, never mind. It don't matter what it would have been, but I didn't have the opportunity to do it. But man, shout out to Troy Graham, man. Troy Grizzy.
Yeah,
as Pirlo would say.
Too. God rest his soul.
Man, shout out to your pops, man. The way you spoke on them, man, I loved all of it. I loved that entire show, man. Y'all did a hell of a job speaking on fathers, man. I loved all of that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, y'all got out of order a few times, in my personal opinion, but we might do a review on that damn show here. We might have
I think everybody out of order, though, but it's all good, man.
Well, hell, you called me out of order. Nigga, you the CEO.
Yeah, man, but shit.
So
I'm never out of order, though. I just call out the out of orderness.
You always out of order. Respect me. I say that respect me. All right, here we go.
Go.
Man, absolutely, Chris. I when I get it back rolling, I'm gonna let you know, OG. You already know what it is.
It's not an over-exaggeration to say that, like you said, there have been what you might call wet works operations to get rid of people, to remove people.
And even to say that, I just gotta say, even to say wet work, anybody who don't know what wet work is, knocking them up, that's the government way of knocking somebody off. That's wet work.
An assassin.
That's wet work. You know what I'm saying? So when he's saying wet work to do whatever, he's speaking on taking people out, unaliving individuals. In my opinion.
That have been problematic and bringing this disruptive information to light. You mentioned real quick. You mentioned Karnak Temple. Now I've been to Karnak, and I think it was in Karnak that I had a very strange experience with a statue of Sekhmet, which is quite a famous statue, and I didn't know that at the time. And like I said to you before we got on record, I'm actually usually a bit of an eye roller with people who are like, "Oh my God, I can feel the energy of this place." Holy shit, there's something going on there. I've been recording everything in Egypt, like every site. I've been trying to get as much video as I could. And I remember when they said that they were going to let us into this area where this statue of Sekhmet is. And my friend was like, this is actually quite a special area. Like a lot of people say that they get a feeling. And I was like, okay, yeah, a lot of people always say they get a feeling. And anyway, so I was going in with my camera and I came around the corner into that very plain. And I love how it's done because it's such a plain square room with sand on the floor and a beam of light coming down like an Indiana Jones film that's illuminating this big statue of Sekhmet. But literally the moment I came around the corner with my camera and turned it onto the statue, my arm just fell down. Like literally my arm just fell down and I just was staring at this statue and it felt like the statue was locked onto me. I actually did start to get this very strange inertial feeling of almost being pulled towards it, and my vision kind of narrowed and focused just on the statue. And it was only when my friend was like, "Hey, dude, we're leaving now," and grabbed me by the shoulder. I was like, whoa, hang on a second. I was in a trance, and then the people next to me reported the same thing and said, "Did you get a feeling like it was locking onto you?" And I was getting goosebumps from that because that was the first time in my life that I'd ever truly felt the energy of something like so many people claim. And there's been camera anomalies taking photos of that. And I don't know what it's made out of, but there's something going on with that, right?
That's
And I just gotta. That was the same. I ain't gonna say to that degree, but at Tulum and at Pompeii, you get that same feeling. And really, because we explored the entire city of Pompeii at the time, I didn't get it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But there were certain places that you got to. One of the places, they were speaking on how individual they was holding on to certain rubies, certain diamonds, certain gold. You know what I'm saying? And when you got to that spot, I don't know who this individual was. They never really explained it, but you got just a certain feeling, and bro, it was crazy. Like it's like it was crazy. It was a crazy feeling. And also when the Pope was speaking, it was a crazy, like it was just like it was almost like an out of body experience that I was like you kind of have. And the funniest thing is, well, I ain't gonna say funny, but at that time we were over there with one of my best friends. We were with his dad. You know what I'm saying? I still say that nigga a CIA agent. That's my opinion. He'll tell you he worked logistics for NATO and shit. But what the hell you working logistics for NATO? I don't know. That's a whole nother story. But me and Q, we was like, bro, like we kind of looked at each other and we both had kind of that same feeling of, bro, like it just kind of raised the hairs on your skin. You know what I'm saying? To give you chills when you there. And you done been in certain I done been in certain places where you get that feeling to some degree, but this was just a little different. It was just a little different, if that makes sense. And we got the chairman in the building, man. The OG, man. Shout out to the chairman. Mr. Chairman, welcome to the show. Thomas Hill is in the building. Welcome to the show, Tom. Mr. Chairman. I almost call you Thomas Hill. I gotta call you Mr.
Thomas Hill.
No, you're Mr. Chairman, man. You're Mr. Chairman. Go ahead, sir.
I just want to know, is the mic in order or am I out of order?
It's out of order. It's out of order.
Okay, we about to get it. We about to get it. How about now?
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. Sir.
Yeah. Am I better now?
Oh, it's all the way in order. The mic is in order. Sir. The mic is in order, Mr. Chairman.
You're still a little choppy.
Nah, he good.
Still a little choppy?
Nah,
Still a little choppy. Hey, well, you know.
Oh, you good for the show. Mr. Chairman.
I'm good for the show. That's all that matters, man. Shout out to my good brother Puddle. Shout out to my good brother Cash Crypto.
Oh, damn. Now it's out of order.
Shout out to the great brother Doug Right Side, man, Mr. Respectfully. And, you know, we in here, dog. I'm just going to sit back and relax and enjoy the ride.
All right, well, we're going to ask you now. I'm just going to tell you, Mr. Chairman. It sounded crispy at first, but then it got out of order quick. So
it got out of order?
Yeah. The mic got back out of order. It's back.
Oh, hold on. Let me back out. Come back in.
I always tell y'all, look, if I tell you your mic out of order, Jay go listen to the show afterward so y'all can hear what your mic sound like. I just say that. Jay go listen to it, find where you pulled up at, and listen to what your mic sound like. That's all I tell you.
A bunch of people died in Pompeii at one time, right?
Yeah, not a ton of people. Like
when
Mount Vesuvius erupted, and you had people like they, and even in some of the what they did was they went and filled a lot of the they found these different kind of, what's the word I want to use? They found these structures. I'm gonna say structures. That's the wrong word to use, and they filled them with different materials, and it gave kind of the shape of the people and how they were there and how they died. And so they have that on display. And so, but yeah, man, I don't know the amount, 100,000 people maybe. Pompeii at that time, according to them, Rome would use Pompeii as kind of like a getaway. It's like the party spot. It's like the party spot. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think places like that where you get, because I believe, this is just my personal belief from everything I've done studied and researched. I think that if you die like instantly or too fast to where your pineal gland can't do whatever it does to where it gives you that burst of DMT and help you on your way to the other side, I think you get stuck here somehow or some way. Like your I don't know if your soul gets stuck here, but yes, something gets stuck. Like you get stuck here.
Those are the quote unquote ghosts that we see.
Yeah, basically. Some of them.
I've heard that as well. I have heard that.
Mm.
Anybody got anything on it? Mr. Chairman, mic check. Mic check.
My mic sounds nice. Check one.
Oh, that bitch sounds
like ghosts are real, man. I've seen a video where the
mic is crispy.
This girl is sleeping in her room, and there's a camera recording, and something picks her up. What?
Oh, go ahead.
No, something is picking her legs up off the damn where it got her in the air. Literally, like this cannot be faked.
She said, "Look, Mom, no
she got
hand."
to kicking and trying to get away from this motherfucking thing, man. They got some weird shit going on.
Nah, and my thing, I think what we call super. So even when it come down to
damn poltergeist or something,
when it come down to ghosts, when it come down to vampires, I think, and it's funny, like you always say, or like you said, Cash, they gotta they gotta tell you about it, right? And if you look at the Matrix, I don't know how true the Matrix is. I don't know, but I will say, look what they spoke on. They spoke on vampires. They spoke on all these different entities that's been reported, that's been seen, and I don't know what to make of it, but I think there is some truth to that energy, and I think I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to make of it. But go ahead.
Since you brought up the Matrix, I told you, like, I seen this video on this guy. He's talking about when he smoked DMT and he was playing with these lasers out of his camera, and he put the laser on the wall, and he said he seen something from far away, so he set the laser down and went up next to the wall, and he's looking at the wall from the side, and he said he could see like the Matrix code on the wall. Like it's a little experiment that I got to do when I get my hands on some DMT again, but. Bro, he said he had like he's like showing a bunch of his friends. He's recording them high on DMT, looking at the shit. And they're like, I see it. It's a bunch of different people, man. So I don't know what's going on, but I gotta test it. Because that's crazy work.
That's crazy work right there. That's crazy work. All right, anybody got anything else on it before we move forward?
So what we seeing right there, right now, that's glowing. That's the effects of DMT.
No. So what we're seeing right now. What's the statue name, Cash?
That's Sekhmet, the lion goddess.
The lion goddess. So
okay, right. I got you.
So no, it's not DMT. It's just this is just the experience that the brother had at this site right here.
No, what you're seeing right now is him, a picture or a recording he was doing, and that statue it like has some crazy interference with cameras and type of shit. It's got some crazy energy coming off of it. So he's showing you a example of one of the pictures.
Hey, real quick, Mr. Chairman, have you been to any ancient sites in your life? Pyramids. I just brought up Tulum, also Pompeii. Have you been to any of those type of sites in your life?
No, I would love to go, but I have not yet been to one. So hopefully.
I ain't mad at it. All right, here we go.
I know there's supposed to be a couple of them that are like in Mexico or something like that, someplace in Mexico, where they got some.
Man, we got some of them here. We got places here. They just got them. They got them hidden. The Grand Canyon. There's supposed to be underground, crazy underground Egyptian place in the Grand Canyon. There's an underground pyramid here in Alaska. Supposed to be a black pyramid that's in the damn in the Alaskan Triangle. It's like part of the Alaskan Triangle. Man, there's some shit. There's a lot of shit everywhere.
Amazing. All right, here we go.
If you talk to anyone, it's probably more than any other statue in all of Egypt, the one that is considered most alive. In fact, some locals believe that they lock that shrine room at Karnak because otherwise Sekhmet tears through the village.
Get out.
And is as in her lioness form. I could list endless stories of one of my friends went in there and didn't quite respect that statue and suddenly got a random nosebleed out of nowhere or very ill. Same like some of the effects of these curses or
what do you think's going on there then? What do you think explains that?
The locals believe this is actually the spirit. This is Sekhmet is she's a force of guardianship for very much like the Sphinx. Mahit, this original lioness that was Mahit, that was called Mahit, was this the lioness is that energy is like, what better energy do you want to guard sacred knowledge than a mother lion who will shred to pieces anyone who is threatening her children, but who will guard her children better than anyone. So you need an energy that can differentiate between these, and this is, in the history, that is Sekhmet's role is as this protector of the sacred knowledge of Egypt.
Shout out to Prize Fighter, man. Prize, I believe last night he was on the show and he called Bella the lioness continuously. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Prize, man.
And it's you can almost see the name Kemet in her name, Sekhmet. That's the name of Egypt. It's she's the protector of that. And you can also see Mehit in that name too, Sekhmehit. And she is also a lioness, just like Mehit, who is this guardian over the library in northern Egypt. So she's the differentiation. You need Sekhmet permission, basically, and never ever disrespect that statue. Just don't, I'll tell anyone that's listening.
There's so many statues of Sekhmet though. That's the thing. Why is this statue so resonant and strong with an energy?
That's her official shrine room. That's her official her sanctuary.
Kind of the OG shrine room for her.
That's her domain, basically where she most centered. But you do see Sekhmet or Mut, which is similar, but I've seen like 20 of them. At the Vatican Library Museum, where the pine cone is, and there's the big this is all a metaphor for the pineal gland, and it's inside a white dome, that's like the inside of a skull, the white dome around it, and the lions and the peacocks. This is all part.
They know exactly what's going on, my man. Like, the Vatican has got a lot of this information. The very fact that they can have something like the secret archives, which I'm not sure if you're aware, but it's like multi-kilometers. It's like 30 kilometers of shelving to store all of the texts and the different aspects. It's phenomenal to me that that's even allowed and permissible.
Talk about some of the reasons why some people on Earth don't want this SAR technology coming forward. A lot of people hide a lot of things underground, But what I'm saying here is, like, they have, if you go behind that dome where the pine cone is, it's the Vatican Museum right there. If you walk behind all around it, there are like 15 or so Sekhmet statues there, all taken from Egypt, lining all the way around the back of it in the inside of the building. People don't realize that. And they're all in like a red room, actually, which is like, it looks like you're looking into a brain, kind of, whereas on the outside it's white, like you're on the inside of a skull. So seeing these Sekhmet statues at the Vatican, I was like, I'm sorry, Sekhmet, I don't know why you're here. I don't know why they stole you and put you here, why they thought that the guardian whose job it is to protect against those who take this knowledge and don't deserve it, is very. There's levels of irony here and levels of ownership, claiming to have some type of power over these statues and, like I said, objects of occult power is how they look at it. These things that have been so venerated and worshipped and honored, the more consciousness and intention that's been paid to a statue, the more power it does have. It has. This is very real. It becomes charged with this. You can see that, and for instance, when you look at Kirlian photography, you could look at an object, like an organic object, and you can see its energy field around it. If you look at an object that nobody's ever thought about or cared about, it's not going to have any field. But if you look at an object, like for instance a key, that takes a lot of thinking and energy to make this object very delicately, it will have this whole aura field around it. It does have an actual energy that I believe is related to how much intention goes into its creation, which is the same thing for all the temples. If you imagine how much time and care, Angkor Wat, even like these detailed reliefs, the more energy and time and intention is placed into this object, the more of this energy it does have, which has the potential of healing, having positive effects on the consciousness of the observer that comes in, things like that. There is something real to this. So a lot of these more darkly oriented people, occultists and stuff, they want to get that energy and that power for themselves to use for whatever, whereas it's really something that belongs to the whole world. That should be healing temples that everyone can actually use and go utilize these vibrational sciences that can actually heal the body, and not just heal the body, but also activate the subtle body, get the chakras and the third eye open. This was the whole point of Egypt, is to teach you about your own biology and how to open up your third eye, which is, like you said, binaural beats. All of Egypt was about finding this balance or reconciliation between opposing forces, which is the brain hemispheres. And so it's all about teaching you to absolutely balance yourself between the extremes of every opposition. And that's this whole duality is synthesized into what's called the return to source doctrine, or like law of one, if you want to call it that. The idea that there is a unity, this whole thing that Akhenaten brought and said there is one single, not exactly the same concept, but that there is a creative single source of, the whole universe and all life, the Aten, the energy that comes from the sun. But it's a lot about unifying the two hemispheres of the brain in order to activate that inner knowledge of the thing that is the Nikola Tesla spark, the Leonardo da Vinci. Access to your full potential, your inner genius is opened up through that. And so they made a science out of how to actually do that, how to get your chakras activated, open your third eye. And that's the whole point of Egypt. One of the ways that you can actually do that, and we're talking about initiations that can actually remind you who you are as a person or who you are as a soul, remind you what you are outside your body, what you are after death, what you are in the field of lucid consciousness or in the duat. This world that you are going to face after your death is a realm that can be explored in lucid dreaming and such. But Egypt is something that can actually teach you about your soul in another way, because if you remember your past lives from thousands of years ago when you're there, and you saw this wall that looked exactly the same, and you see that wall again in this lifetime, that's a trigger. You understand? It's a reference that is immovable in time. It's the exact same as it was then as it is now. And this can trigger people to remember who they were back then. That's why when people go to Egypt, it's like John Anthony West always said, he in every interview, he goes, Egypt is like sex. And now that I have your attention, how is Egypt like sex? And he says, and then he goes, because you can read all about it, you can look at the pictures, you can watch the videos even, but you're never going to have any concept of what it is until you experience it. Because this is the truth. You can't get a sense of the scale. You can't get a sense of the energy you can't get a sense of what those stones literally do to you, how they affect your consciousness, how they raise you to this higher state of awareness, basically. So that is, like I said, the entire sacred science that R.A. Schwaller de Lubeck's brought forward in his great work. He wrote a book called Sacred Science. He wrote a book called The Temple of Man, which describes all this, how at Luxor you see this entire diagrammatic of the human biofield, the entire subtle energy system of the human body, and the perfected man is represented in all the chambers and the layout of Luxor. And so he decrypted all this stuff like a genius. He was a French mathematician, alchemist, astrologer. He was essentially the guy that John Anthony West took off from, picked up on his ideas reading Temple of Man. And this is what led to John's book, Serpent in the Sky, and all of his work, bringing some of R.A. Schwaller de Lubeck's ideas, breaking them down a little bit easier for the public to understand. So, yeah, all those years I was learning from John so much. Just like I was always in his library, I was like reading his books and asking him questions. Like I said, since I had first met him in 2006, and R.A. Schwaller de Lubeck is obviously one of the first people he always said to read, and also like G.I. Gurdjieff and some of these other. He didn't recommend too many people, but most his whole library was like 3 walls of his house, and 2 of those walls were basically just books that were from people he knew, or people sending them to him, wanting him to write a forward notes or all these. And that's what led me to get on this path. So to circumvent all of this different echo chamber of books that are just saying the same thing over and over again, it would have taken me lifetimes to get straight to all of the most important research and theories of all these people.
Well, before we wind down, because we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, there's something else I wanted to bring up with you. Fantastic so far, Trevor Grassi. Guys, make sure you, I know, right? Absolutely flown by. Make sure you subscribe, guys. The link to Trevor Grassi's channel is going to be in the description box below. Definitely check out all of these documentaries he's putting out. Like, the footage is just incredible. One of the other places I want to bring up before we kind of finish off is the Serapeum and Saqqara, because this is another place that I've been to that I find incredible, and it does also tie in my opinion, to these acoustic resonance sciences, because the above ground temple site has a lot of indications architecturally towards musical instruments and the use of vibration. And then you've got this subterranean complex with, I think, 24 of these huge granite blocks, these jet black, gigantic sarcophagi that are done with such precision that it's basically on par with current aerospace engineering, with the actual precision of these, the machining precision. So what do you think about the Serapeum? Is this another example of potentially pre-dynastic technology that's just hiding in plain sight? Because the actual mainstream story is that this is for the Apis bull cult, and this is the sacred burial site of Apis bulls, but there were no bulls ever recovered, and these are very small little subterranean tunnels to get these gigantic 70-ton megalithic sarcophagi in. So what's going on in the Serapeum, in your opinion?
Definitely one of the most important sites in the whole of Egypt. Those boxes are evidence of technology that we definitely do not have today. Like I've heard people say, like, if you had like $1 trillion, you might be able to pull enough equipment together to make one, but you'd have to develop new tools that it would be basically impossible for us to do anything like that today. And it was clearly done with ease, 24 times more than that. You know, that those boxes are everywhere. And what is their actual function? I think there are many, and but I definitely agree that those boxes are probably way pre-dynastic.
Well, they've got these. You get these like scribbly little cartouches on them, and you got this kind of like chicken scratch, and that is certainly done after the fact. That has been done after the fact. You probably like try and sell it off to the highest bidder, you know, put a little cartouche on it or whatever. But this is not.
Ramses II tagged his name on everything.
The graffiti artist of their time just slamming tags on everything, right?
And there is also right next to the Serapeum, you've got at least 4 kilometers of tunnels underneath Djoser's pyramid, all wound up in another one of these labyrinths. And I've gone all through that too, and I've even gone down to some of the lower levels. They're still finding more. They haven't gotten to the end of any of them. That's, and like I say, Saqqara is connected by tunnels all the way back to Giza. That's confirmed. The tunnels go from Giza to Zawiya El Arian, which is called the Area 51 of Egypt.
That's the one that wasn't originally. There wasn't originally a military site there, right? This is the one that slopes down, and it's like a kind of a basin that they discovered with limestone blocks, and they even did like a Hollywood film there once, right, where they had like this scene of them coming down off of the ramp or something. But now they've built a military base around this area.
Yeah, it's a ruined pyramid. The pyramid is gone. All that's left is the underside of it, much like the pyramid at Abu Rawash. But there is something at Zawiya El Arian there's a major energy anomalies. There's like weird physics doesn't really follow its normal laws there. There's I've heard extraterrestrial objects from off planet there, that there's a big underground complex right under there. There are some things that make it one of the most difficult places in Egypt to get access to. I only know a couple people who have been able to get in there, but there's a very important site connected to it. And there's some kind of like portal energy or some kind of potentially interdimensional thin spot in time space or something like that, some kind of anomaly, which is why I think they built the military base around it.
Well, there's another thing real quick that one of my friends pointed out to me when we were out.
Real quick, shout out to Shawa. Hey, don't worry about it, sis. We're gonna figure it out. We'll find it, and I believe what you're saying. As far as the military base being built around this, what's y'all opinion on that? Why would you build a military base? And I understand if you want to have, I don't know, hey, if you want to block it off, whatever. But a military base, that's crazy work to me. What's your thoughts?
Who built it?
Hell,
who runs it? Like what country?
I would think Egypt does.
Okay, then so you answer your own question.
How?
What do you mean how?
All right, go ahead.
Military base where? What are you talking about?
The military base that he's speaking on that's blocking off this site right here that he's speaking on.
Oh, shit. Something important's over there that they don't want you fucking with, so they can build a base next to it and hold and post up.
Or Egyptians aren't allowed national security or what?
What you mean? What you mean by that?
The question's kind of odd. Like, why would any country build a military base? So obviously,
No,
like
it's not. Why would we? So, all right. The same way I would ask the question, why did we build a military base around Area 51? Right? I would ask that question. This is the same type of question. The same way I have theories on why they built it, and it more or less goes into they don't want us to know exactly what's going on at their site. That would be my answer here, but I don't know what you're saying.
no, I'm just saying, like, I mean, military bases have different applications depending on where they are. Like maybe Egypt is storing their F-16s there, or maybe like old antiquities there. Like, I mean, like at the end of the day, like some of these countries, like the military is like literally in charge of security for like all of their like most precious and most valuable historical objects or whatever.
Incredible. Here we go.
In Egypt, there's a lot of these sites, the Serapeum and Karnak and many others, have these very large mud brick fortifications around them that are not actually made of the same building materials as the temples themselves. And I've heard a lot of comments from this, and I love this idea, because I think if you are looking at these as some form of energetic temple, some sort of acoustic resonance or any form of energy, this might be an insulation to keep that energy very much contained within the presence of the temple site. So would you have any comments on this kind of mud brick insulation hypothesis?
Well, that is actually kind of what my friend Muhammad Ibrahim said. He was one of my first guides.
He's the one I went out to Egypt with, bro.
Who'd you go with?
I was with Muhammad. I was with Timothy Hogan, who's a very dear friend of mine. I was with Johnny Enoch and a couple of us, JP Haig. Yeah, a couple of others out there, but it was an amazing experience.
I know all of them as well. They've all helped me in different ways personally, so it's like
same. I've got nothing but love.
JP Haig, actually, I've been talking with, but Muhammad is a great guide as well, and that's his idea of it. I'll tell you also, Dr. Robert Schock and Catherine Ulysses, when I was in Egypt with them, they were on our trip documenting these mud brick structures everywhere, and they were coming up with the hypothesis that actually that was a means of intentionally protecting and preserving these sites. Like the mud brick were structures designed to try and protect the actual older stone monuments from these cataclysmic solar outbursts that would lead to plasma and things that could damage the properties. They're saying potentially like Göbekli Tepe was intentionally buried in Turkey to preserve that site. That many of the spots in Egypt were intentionally buried to preserve them like that. And that also leads, he has an article about, I think it's called The Intentional Burial of Egypt. So they were developing this idea as I was with them. They were taking all the pictures of the mud brick. And one of the most important ones was at Hawara, because that's a mud brick pyramid, but that's not what Herodotus said. He said this pyramid was inscribed with giant figures all over it. You don't inscribe images into mud brick. There's a stone pyramid under the mud brick at Hawara. Nobody knows that. And the first person to prove it was Bill Brown. So watch my films. You'll see he went there 2007, 2008. The reason they finally kicked him out after 2.5 years, like $500,000 invested in that project, when he was the first person ever to do GPR scans and find the labyrinth. But it was concurrent as well with my other friend, Louis de Cordier. I was just talking to this morning, who brought the Mataha expedition in 2008 to work there. And they also did GPR. But after that whole project, Bill got kicked out. Zahi took the project back from him after he not only designed a system to lower the water at Hawara and drain it so we could get in there, and discovered, where this secret entrance is into the labyrinth, but he also did GPR scans around the pyramid that were actually on the pyramid. He found the original corner of the stone pyramid deep underground, and he was not supposed to know that or tell that. That's when he lost the permit. They got kicked out. And Zahi took his report. Zahi offered him a job at that point. He respected the work he did, and he developed this entire plan to actually drain the water and protect the site from the water that's damaging it now from this canal. But Zahi took his report, and they handed the permissions over to a French team, and who didn't use it, who didn't pursue the the water drainage system thing. And he thanked Bill personally and said, "This was good work. Do you want to come work on my personal team?" And Bill politely refused. He said, "No, thanks, because I want to be able to say whatever I want to say. If I work for you, I'm not going to censor myself for media control." Yeah, he politely declined, but it showed Zahi respected what he was doing even. But at the same time, kicked him out and wouldn't let him continue.
Join the team or get the fuck out, basically.
Yeah, basically. And it was really when he found that the actual corner of the pyramid down there, that was when it was like, all right, you're done, Bill. Yeah. So we are trying to bring it back to Horror too in the future with Louis de Courtier and Bill and me and all the others who have been working on it.
We could go for hours on end. I swear to God, like this is just one of the most fascinating subjects that I get into. Anyway, I'm very focused on the implications of ancient history, prehistory right now, and Egypt is just. It's always been an obsession of mine, like ever since I was a little child. If I even put a message out on X recently, and I got thousands of responses back from people saying, "Yep, same here, same here." And I said, "Did anyone else between the ages of about 6 and 10 become obsessed with Egypt out of nowhere, inexplicably?" So many people do, and I think there's something to that. There's something that calls people to Egypt because there's just so much there that is a reflection of what we once were and what we might become again. So it's a fascinating thing. But again, I would encourage people, please, Trevor Grassi, check out the YouTube channel, check out his documentaries. We're going to definitely have another talk at some point. Maybe we might even link up in Egypt in the future and do some projects together and filming, who knows. But it's a fascinating thing. I think that you guys are doing incredible work. You're doing the boots on the ground stuff that a lot of these.
And shout out to the brothers, man. A hell of a show. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to I want to make sure I say Project Unity. Salute to them, because this was a hell of a show. And anytime that you don't have a problem attacking some of those tough questions, and I think they did. I think they did a great job as far as what's been found so far, elaborating on it, man. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. I'm gonna pass it around. Go ahead, Piero. Then we go into Cash. What's your thoughts on this whole show?
Well, I missed a big chunk of it, but
did you miss Sunday? You missed Sunday night?
I think
it was
I think I was involved. I mean,
you was here. You was here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think too much of a lot of these dudes because I mean, a lot of these dudes like are just like regular dudes that like I don't know, just like anybody, like speak on things that can't be explained and I don't know. It's just sometimes I just find them. I'm not saying these guys in particular, but I mean like, especially when it comes to Egypt, like nobody like truly knows like what this is, what that is. Like they're speaking a lot of times they're speaking facts about how like the Egyptian government, won't allow them to do this, won't allow them to do that. But in my opinion, too, also like the Egyptian government does the correct thing by not letting a lot of these like people that are just in here to like make a name for themselves. You get what I'm saying? Because like a lot of these dudes like are just there to like say they discover something, But at the end of the day, if they were just let any old Joe like go in there and start messing this stuff up, it's like, and I say that because like I see what they've done at Chichen, at the Tenochtitlan, like a lot of like I remember as a kid, you would be, especially like in Chichen, you would be or in Tulu, you would be actually be able to climb the pyramids and stuff like that. But people like are like, you get what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you invite people over, like a lot of people like won't take care of your stuff because it's not theirs. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff is like, you get what I'm trying to say?
I do. My thing is, and I'm not disagreeing. What I will say though is there's a difference between allowing people to actually physically touch, because even like I was bringing up Pompeii, you couldn't touch these things. You know what I'm saying? Like they allow you to go in, look, but you got a guy, and they're not going to allow you to put your hands on things like that. But at the same time, in this situation, we're not talking about allowing people in, not touching. We're talking about not allowing people in at all.
Yeah.
Not even there. I think
Go
it's
ahead.
a
I'm
little
sorry,
different.
Dub.
I'm just gonna say I think it's a little different.
I mean, I think it's the same, to be honest, and they don't allow people in, period, because like people, like I said, well, like you know, like I think some of these pyramids, some of these what do you call them, like historical sites, ancient rural sites, or ancient, like, yeah, ancient stuff, like are well preserved because of these strict protocols where you can't even go inside, because like there's literally, like, if you look it up, I can't get if you get, like, obviously it's gonna take me a little bit because I don't remember, but there's like literally specific sites that don't even exist anymore because people like have destroyed them.
Amazing. Cash, what you got on it?
Yeah, I agree with Piro a little bit about the majority of the people in the world would want to plunder these places and take everything for themselves, but there are good people still left on this world. You know what I mean? And some of these people are some of those good people who are risking their lives to discover these things that I've been waiting a good 25 some years. I've been reading about and researching and hearing about and wondering about for so fucking long. Man, I give these guys a lot of credit, man. And fuck, I can't get over there to do it, because I definitely would. There's shit under these grounds that's left there for us. I want to know about this shit, man. I don't want these motherfucking rich bastards to keep this shit hidden from us forever. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I don't think we got a choice. I don't think we got a choice though. Shit, money talk in this world.
That's the thing. Eventually, I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it kind of seems like one of them elites are gonna have to cross over, in a sense, and want to release something to the people, man. And or else, how could it happen since these motherfuckers got everything on such lock and key? But it's gonna happen eventually.
But what can they release though? Like,
if shit information, whatever they've got hidden, I couldn't tell you, bro. If I knew, I'd be showing y'all that.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but I'm just saying, it's like what do they expect to find? Like I don't understand, like the motivation of some of these. I mean, I understand the motivation of some of these dudes, but like the arrogance of how some of these dudes talk. It's like one of the guys said on the video. It's like oh, like the technology cannot be done today. I'm like, who says? Like, just because you can't do it or you can't wrap your head around the concepts of doing it, what like, just because you say it can't be done, it means it can't be done? You get what I'm saying?
I don't see that as arrogance though, bro. He's talking about, because we can't even pick up no 100-something ton some of these structures and move them up 200-something meters in the air and place it perfectly on top of this, and then do it again and put these couple stones in between those, and here, pick the other 200 one up and put it on top of that one. Like, we can't do this shit. We don't even know how.
We can't, us three, but a bunch of us can.
No, it can't be done today.
It can be done,
bro. It can't be done.
Then how was it done before? How was it done before?
I don't know. They had a different technology. They had a different.
No, they didn't. Same technologies, bro.
No, bro, different technology. We don't build with these big ass stones no more. We build with shit that weighs much less.
I understand.
We build stuff very tall, but we're not building like our shit's not lasting however long these big ass things done lasted. We don't even know how long they lasted, but they've been around a long ass time.
Mm-hmm. And it took just as long as they've been around. It took just as long to build them.
I don't think it did though, bro.
I mean, like that. And I get that, like, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, you're right, but at the end of the day, like, I think it did.
But then, bro, like, just the stuff the remnants that we get to see, like the pyramids and these other, just like those pyramids in Mexico or Angkor Wat, these things that we get to see, like, imagine what's under the ground in these humongous caverns that we don't know about. Like, man. That shit's gonna be even more amazing than the shit that we get to look at, because that shit's not gonna be destroyed or weathered like the shit that has been hit with weathering and whatever else, water, wind, and who knows. Like, there's gonna be some shit down there that's fully intact. You know what I mean? Still looking brand new type pyramids and man, I want to see this shit, man. Fuck.
No, I mean, it would be fascinating to see, but Yeah, it would be fascinating to see.
Get us closer to the truth, man. I want to know the truth, man.
What truth are you looking for?
Whatever truth there is, bro. If they got some records or some down there or some knowledge that gets us, that leads us to figure out how do we get to reach our full potential. Shit, I'm interested.
I mean, like full potential depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, like yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, we ain't gonna find the secret to eternal life, and if we do, I don't want it.
I mean, shit, why not? Maybe not eternal, but shit, to be able to live a whole lot longer, man, I'm down with it.
I'm not.
Man, all you want is
like hell. Sounds like hell to me.
Maybe to live forever. Nah, man, fuck that. I wouldn't mind living forever, man. Shit.
I would, bro. I would, because you'd be the only. Well, I mean, you'd be one of the few, the only ones. I mean, to me, that's like the ultimate punishment from God or whoever you believe in. Is like literally like you linger on while everybody that you ever love or you ever will love goes away. Shit, I still miss my pops like dearly. But
if we would have figured
and that's my pops.
But if we would have figured that out, then no, the people that we know, and they would have the same knowledge that we would have. It ain't like we're not gonna pass it on. So it wouldn't just be you; it'll be everybody.
No, it wouldn't be everybody, because that's not how it works. Like the only thing that we know for sure in this world is we gonna die. That's the only thing we know.
Amazing. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
I agree with dying, but I think there's a way that we can live a lot longer. And shit, I would definitely want it.
And but that's already happened, no Cash. Like literally, like I remember just reading. It was just quick articles. I forgot somebody made a point about. I think somebody on Doug's panel was making a point like that our life expectancy is actually becoming shorter. And like to me, that didn't make any sense, especially like with medical advancements, like just like new, like you say, new information that we started to learn more about our bodies. We're actually it's actually on an uptrend, human life expectancy.
And if it is, it ain't by much, bro. But what if we could live longer and not be old? Like if we have these rejuvenation chambers that rejuvenate our body to where it keeps us like young looking longer, where we don't gotta get old fast. That's what I'm interested in.
I hear you, but that's it goes against the natural law of like the natural law. Like it's not even God's law, it's not Dub's law, it's not Cash's law, it's not Puro's law. It's like the natural law of things. It just goes against it. It's like it's like plastic surgery. It's like anything that humans for vanity or just for our grasp that we're so temporary in this world. It's just like it's just this it's
but
nothing stops it. Nothing will ever stop it. Like we're born,
but
we grow up, and then we like literally from the day we born, we already starting to die.
But imagine if that dying period isn't 60, 70, 80 years. That dying period is 200, 300 years. I think that's what Cash is saying.
No, I understand totally what Cash is saying, but that's the thing though. It's like, yeah, imagine, like I can imagine a lot of things. I can imagine my pop still being around, but that's not the truth. That's not reality.
I'm not worried about dying. I ain't scared of dying.
I'm not worried about dying either, because I know that's eventually that's what's going. I mean, literally, I could be gone tomorrow. Like literally,
I worry about how I'm gonna die. Like I want to die like natural, or where I get to go to the next place. I don't want to die no instant death where you get your head blown off and nothing gets a chance to take place. Like that's the kind of dying that I would be worried about.
And I feel you on that, but that's the thing about life. It's like we don't know how we're gonna go. Like literally, like I just like you to give my, because like like for me personally, like life is like all is our experiences, personal. Like the way you see the world, Cash, is be way different from the way I see the world, because we have different life experiences.
Yeah,
but
sure.
it's just like it's just like a person that's like literally like for either by choice or literally just by sheer bad luck, they've lived a life where like it's just like strictly given for whatever reason. But eventually one day they get cancer, and it's a form of cancer where it's like extremely painful, and they live like their last, I don't know, like year and a half in extreme pain. Like that's just like it's just like it's sad, but unfortunately, like we can't. It's just it's the roll of the dice. Like
Mhm.
some will go peacefully, some will go the way they want, some won't. Some won't
But
even. Some will
but
literally live for 30 minutes and then leave this world, and we
but if
wouldn't
we
even
can,
get to know them.
find the technology and have an understanding of how to increase that lifespan, how to take that pain away, you know what I'm saying? And I done heard the argument. I'll be honest. I've heard the argument when I've had conversations with other individuals saying, well, if we start living longer, then we're going to overpopulate the earth too fast. You know what I'm saying? I done heard these arguments. But I just, I don't know. Any way that we can increase, and not just increase life, of course, but intelligence, have a different understanding of what's really going on. I think that's something that we should always strive for.
And I feel you, but the thing is like it's cool to strive for these things, but some of these things, like we like it'll be, at least in my humble opinion, we gotta like just deal with reality. Is that some of these things we'll never know. Some of these things, like it's just like we would have known them by now. Like I mean, like if some people say money, well, we'll lead you there. Some people, but like literally, you've seen some of the richest people in like Steve Jobs. You think that motherfucker it was richer than Davy Crockett? He had all the money in the world, but nothing stopped it. Nothing.
I feel you. I think you out of order, but
I ain't out of order because Steve Jobs is dead. Like dead. He's gone. He's gone and buried. I don't know where we go after because nobody knows where we go after we die. Because when we die, we die. We can dead men tell no tales, as they say.
Some people died and came back though.
Yeah, that's true, but they don't know where they went.
oh damn, I'm sitting here talking on mute. Go ahead. What'd you say? Somebody came back?
I've heard a lot of. That's what I look into a lot of these. I listen to a lot of people's um stories of when they died, and then their experiences that they had that they tell about when they come back, and I like try to like find parallels with DMT stories and all types of shit. You know what I mean?
I feel you, and unfortunately, none of this stuff can be proven because, like, to be able to truly prove it to yourself or to myself or to Dub himself, like, you have to experience it for yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I told you about that. There's this institute that's literally mapping the DMT world. You know what I mean? They're mapping this world.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Mapping the DMT world. What does that mean?
When you they put you on a DMT drip, so they put you on a IV basically, and it's dripping DMT constantly into your system, so you get to go into that realm for an extended period of time.
Yeah, but those are just hallucinations. I mean, like, one could explain it as hallucinations, and what are hallucinations? It's just our subconscious mind playing out like kind of in the real world. I'm not saying that it disproves it or proves it, and I get what you're saying. I'm actually fascinated about DMT and those studies that you speak of. But I mean, like true actual proof of like where, like, because like shit, some people could die for seconds. Some people could die like literally for an hour or two, whatever. Like look, like just like us, like we all knew each other because of boxing. Like I know one boxer currently right now that still boxes that actually died, and he still boxes.
Huh? Hold on, what? Say that. Hold on. You know a boxer who died that's still boxing?
Yeah, Virgil Ortiz.
How did he die?
His last, remember when he went through his last episode about the rhabdo?
Right.
His heart stopped.
That don't mean he died.
No, that's literally the medical definition of you dying, bro. Is your heart stop.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah, but they defibrillate. That's why, like, when I heard the story, obviously through the pops and through their social media or whatever, I was like, holy shit, like this motherfucker's like literally he died and they brought him back. It's like, to me, that's crazy. That's like, thank his lucky stars. That's why, like, to me, like, you know, a lot of people were like, like if he never boxes again, what a waste, this, that, and the other, man. I'm like, you like literally, like, this guy's lucky to be alive, but I also get the argument. It was like, this guy's dedicated his whole life to boxing, then he's got to quit for this, that, and the other. You know, I get that part, but hey, he's still there, man. You know, motherfucker's blessed. He don't even know it. I mean, I'm sure he knows it.
Amazing.
Shit, I know it, man. I almost died, bro. So, like, trust me, man. I like before, I'm like Cash. Like, I'm not scared of dying. Like, death is, you know, it's part of it. Like, we're all gonna do it. But also, like, now I got my daughter, and like, I actually went through a situation where, like, literally, y'all wouldn't even have known me. This was before like any of this, like, technology of, like, us talking on StreamYard and shit. Like, it existed, but it's like not like at what the point we are now. But it's like I still, like, I would say, like, every day, like, subconsciously, I think about, like, shit, man. Like, literally, like, sheer luck. I'm still here, man. You know, I still, like, my dad was alive when that happened to me, and I remember my dad, like, I could tell, you know, you got that vibe or whatever, and you can see it in his face, like, he was, like, truly, like, freaked out. You know, I never seen my dad freaked out until that day where the doctors had to, like, to explain, my sisters had to explain to him, because he was already up there. Like, he was still strong, but, like, he was already up there, you know, in age. But, like, I could tell he couldn't wrap his head around it, you know.
Amazing. I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with it. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I think that even we may not know it, but if we can find it and have an understanding of what the individual were utilizing, the technology that they had, and it can help us, I think, man, hey, this is why I'm so interested, is because just knowing, and we say right now, we would always, well, a lot of individuals, I ain't gonna say we, a lot of individuals will always say we're as advanced as humans have ever been at this current moment in time. I don't know if that's true.
It is true.
Okay, in your opinion.
No, it's not an opinion, it's a fact.
In your opinion.
No, it's not an opinion.
You got it.
I know I got it.
All right,
continue. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
You out of order, man.
I ain't out of order. You out of order, but like I said, I apologize. Go ahead.
Well, come on, man. I'll let you cook. I know. And you still talking. Damn. Hold on, man.
Oh, damn. Sorry. I pissed you off last time. I ain't trying to piss you off again. Go ahead. I'm gonna go on mute.
The fuck is wrong with you people? Who raised you?
Shit. So once again, and now I forgot what the fuck I was saying. Cause you're talking. All right, man. We shutting this motherfucker down tonight. Normally we go long. We go 3, 4. But I got some shit. I gotta handle tomorrow anyway. So, man, y'all give me y'all last words. Piro, you done pissed me off. Piro, go first, man. You done pissed me off, man.
Man, shit. I got fired again. Fucking poodle. God damn it, man. Thank you for having me again, bro. Man, I got fired again. Fired on my day off, bro.
Nigga he ain't no goddamn CEO no more. This motherfucker.
See what? Man, got fired again. Man, no, but truly, thank you again for having me on. Peace.
I don't believe it. I don't believe none of that shit.
All right, bro.
Nigga just talking.
We don't believe you. We need more people.
This is outrageous. This is outrageous.
Piro, I said Piro. Cash, man, give me your last words, my brother. Another great show, and we will be back this weekend. I'm gonna try to. I gotta get my son this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Spring break, but we will have a show and cover some of these topics this coming weekend, my brother. Give me your last words.
Oh yeah, I got a different opinion. I don't think that we're the best versions that ever existed. I think we went down a different path. I think these beings, they built things a different way than us. Clearly, they had a different technology that we don't even understand today. Shit. So, man, I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see what we figure out in my lifetime at least, to see how far we get.
And we're gonna keep searching and looking. We're gonna try to figure this shit out as much as we can. It ain't never gonna be perfect. But damn it, we're gonna keep searching and looking.
But yeah, till next time, man. We'll chop it up again.
Hey, salute my brother. Much love and respect. You already know what it is. Another great show, man. Another great night of conspiracy topics. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm trying to tell y'all, we starting to find out these ain't so much conspiracies. I'm just saying, from what's being found, they not so much conspiracies, but I appreciate everybody coming through. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to my sis Shawa in the building. Shout out to Pyro coming through. Shout out to my brother Cash in the building. The boxing scholar, Let's Be Real, is in the building. Shout out to Let's Be Real, man. Tomorrow, we'll be on the boxing topics tomorrow, my brother. I got you. Shout out to Steph in the building. Shout out to Detroit BC in the building. Mad Dog, Big Dog Willie, the OG, the legend Crush in the building. You understand? Man, I really appreciate it. The Melvin Air Podcast, man, I appreciate all the love and support. And tomorrow we will be back again with another boxing show, man. And we will be talking everything boxing tomorrow. So much love and respect. I appreciate y'all. And hey, we out for the night, but we all over here. Just know, man, where you at? You're rocking on the right side. Salute, family.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
And we shall overcome.
Impromptu celebrations erupted outside the White House.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence.